Okay, guys, so a record-breaking video I'm going to try here, very fast, running through all the sectors. I'll start off with the markets. Markets are sideways, slightly up. I thought they'd be sideways down, to be honest, but it's thin trading, so sometimes that tends to favor the move up. Here we've got the Nasdaq. You can see not the biggest move. It was actually red. I think that's Nvidia. Nvidia had, good earnings, but the reaction was a downward move, but it did actually end up near high of day, so it wasn't the worst drop. But anyway, that put pressure on the Nasdaq. The S&P though, that was green-ish. That's sideways up. I really did expect a bit of a drop because we were at resistance, but here we're actually looking like we might go to the next level, but I don't think it will reach. I just look at the Dow Jones, quite strong actually. That looks like it's going to reach the next level up here, 35,500, but I'm sorry, the move is too crazy. I just feel like we have to go down, so we may even drop before we get there. I still favor a move down, but look, the Russell remains the weakest one as usual. That is not a bullish candle. That's more bearish than bullish. It's like a doji reversal at resistance still. So I just feel like, I'm sorry, we have to go down, but I am a bit impressed by the move up today. You've noticed in trading and not that credible. I feel like that's overall a sideways up move, and I expected a sideways down move. The XLF, the seniors of the banks, that tended to move up with general markets, matching like the Dow, the S&P. Again, that one I thought would drop. However, you can see slight weakness. I mean, they were up the same percentage point, but look at the candles, the KB, the KRE, they still look like they want to go down, and I think they will. So it's more like the strongest ones went sideways up, the weaker ones went sideways down, if I can say it like that. I still think once we get a bit of volume, we'll go down because the move has been extraordinary. Not really in the banks, but more in the Nasdaq, the S&P, the Dow, and I think time for a reversal. So that's the markets basically sideways up, and I still think we're going to come down. So interest rates, it doesn't get that up. Let's stop with the 30-year. You can see here that looks like it's going to curl and go up. And I feel like that's where we're at. We could go a little lower, but we're basically nearing a support point. Not as clear in the 30-year. You could say this here, this resistance that we broke out of, it's pretty much near enough to there. So you could say it's, I left it here as an average, but basically we're very close to support on the 30-year. So any day now, move up. Look at the 10-year. This is the equivalent. You can see we touched it. It was kind of green. This is a curl, this is a bounce point. I'm quite sure of that. Then it becomes less obvious here. I don't see it as much, So I think this will just move up with the 30 and the 10-year. I think the 30 and the 10-year are going to create the support for the yields to bounce. 2-year, not as obvious. That will just move in line. The 1-year is even harder to call. That's just constantly grinding sideways. So it's the 30 and the 10-year, and they're pretty much at support. So I expect to move up in yields. The dollar, I expected a bounce here. We bounced. I expected resistance here. Just before we got there, we did get a bit of resistance. Now we're literally in the middle of the channel. What do I expect? Honestly, don't know. Sideways movement in the channel. If we go up here, well, actually, if we start to take out, if we close above the high of this candle, we could move up a little bit more, but then we hit resistance. We can see that it was too strong up here for to hold this gains. So I think if we start to move up here, expect resistance. If we move down here, expect a bit of support until news. So for me, we're in the middle of the channel. I completely expect this type of a move, up here resistance, down here support. I just think sideways in this channel, whether it goes a little higher or low, until news pushes it one way or the other. Bias to the downside, actually. The trend is your friend. I mean, we did have a nice move up, did consolidate, so you would expect another move back up, actually. I would say sideways until news, basically. If there's no big news, then resistance here, support there. But to be honest, every day we've got news. But maybe it needs a big event news to act as a catalyst. So honestly, I'm just going to say sideways. It's done what I thought it would do. So just sideways. All right, let's look at commodities. Copper, yes. So that had a late pop, but I said I'd expect to go all the way back down to this trend line, which it did in one day. I didn't expect it in one day, especially on a thin trading day. I expected it to go down because I expected the dollar to bounce and the markets to go down. That happened, but that was a bit fast. So copper is just, and I don't think it's ready for a massive move up yet. And I think the markets are ready to move down. So copper, yeah, sideways and maybe lower in the next couple of days, just because of what I expect that's going to happen to the markets. And the dollar, if I had to choose, maybe a bit of a move up in the next couple of days. So that also is the reason for copper to stay down. So it just, too little, too late. That really is the story of copper the last couple of weeks. So that explains copper's move. That's what I expected there. Natural gas, I expected a curl here. To be honest, I expected a bounce a little before, but you can see why. Sorry, look at the ascending. Now we've hit there. Look at that candle there. This one just toys with everyone. Now I understand why they call it the Widowmaker, but really here at the ascending, you should curl and go back up, take out this descending, take out this mini support zone, which let's be honest is more here. I'll put an average. So this should really go back up now, In fact, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this. I'll even get rid of this because it's going to take it out in one go. Let's keep it clear. That's the support, the ascending. Let's move back up now. WTI, yes. Now this one went lower than I thought, but when it came here, I thought, no, look, that's it. You can't go below 74, If we come back down, it'll be bought. That's exactly what happened yesterday. Look at this. It came back down. It touched 74. This is perfect. And rallied all the way up. That's a very, very strong double bottom sort of pattern here. So for me, that did exactly what I thought. And now it needs to go back up and it will test 82. And then we'll see, because 82 is a bit of resistance and just above is more resistance. I think if it was to go through 82, you'd hit the top of these three candles. Let's call it 84.5-ish, which would coincide with this descending. So 82 and 84.5 is resistance for me. And I think we're going to get there. Don't care about the news, by the way. Uranium, this also, very strong, perfect bullish pattern. Higher lows, higher highs. Broke out this ascending, hit this, pierced a bit higher, just retested, but it was a healthy retest. And now, what did I say? I said we grind sideways here at the breakout level and just keep going up. And that is exactly what we're doing. So uranium also, what I was expecting. Gold, that is holding its gains, with the dollar doing what it's done. It kind of makes sense. Gold holding all the way up here, but we've still got no close above 2010. And I did say it's 2010, not 2000. Although, to be honest, 2000 is also, it hasn't closed above 2000 either. That would be a good start. But for me, it's really 2010. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, all resistance at 2010. So until we close above 2010, this is still not perfectly bullish. But, it's holding its gains up here. That's very good. But what happens if the dollar rallies a little bit? We'll probably come back down. But still, it's not all bad. This is still extremely bullish. Look, came all the way back up, retest, healthy dip, and then back up. So gold doing fine, but look, it's thin trading, and the dollar is due for a bit of a bounce, and yields are due for a bit of a move up. I don't think the market counts too much. Whether the market goes up or down, I don't think gold really cares, and I don't even think the miners care. So that's good. In fact, when it's like that, it may even help. Silver, copying gold, 24 on silver is 2000, 2010 on gold. So we need silver to close above 24. We need gold above 2010. The miners, they have their equivalent levels. So GDX and GDXJ holding nicely, just like gold, just like silver, but we need to close above 36. GDX is 30. We, holding nicely, sideways, sort of, yeah, perfectly sideways. We need to close above 30. There you go. That's a wrap. Not going to overdo it. It's thin trading. Good luck. Good luck.